All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to explore something pretty mind-bending. It comes from a text called Zoran's Advanced Teaching, and it lays out this incredible framework for human consciousness. The big idea? That there's a whole other reality hidden inside of us, a reality that we can access through a set of senses that, for most of us, are completely switched off.
And right from the get-go, the source material hits us with this really powerful idea. Listen to this. You have discovered the greatest secret I embedded in human consciousness, that the meditator eventually dissolves into the meditation. So think about what that means. This isn't about learning some new trick. It's about uncovering a secret that was literally built into our minds from the very beginning. A secret about what awareness even is. Kind of sets the stage, doesn't it?
Okay, so the very first big concept we need to tackle is something the text calls the Great Reversal. And trust me, this is way more than just a cool name. It's talking about a complete, fundamental flip in how you perceive reality. A shift that's said to happen after you've put in the time, with deep inner work, like meditation.
So, what does that actually mean? The source is super clear on this. This is not a metaphor. It's supposed to be a literal mechanism of spiritual awakening. Picture this. You spend your whole life searching for, let's say, the divine, or enlightenment, or whatever you want to call it. And then one day, the very thing you've been searching for, it wakes up inside you and starts looking out through your eyes. That's it. That's the essence of the Great Reversal. The seeker becomes the sought.
And this whole idea of a reversal, it's not some brand new concept. It's actually a golden thread you can find woven through just about every mystical tradition out there. You see it in the Hindu teaching Tat Twam Asi, which means you are that. You see it in Sufi poetry. Enter, for I am thou and thou art I. Even in Christian mysticism with phrases like, not I, but Christ liveth in me. They're all pointing to the exact same thing, that moment the small, personal I dissolves into something infinitely bigger.
So, okay, if this great reversal happens, what exactly is it that we're seeing? What's the inner landscape it reveals? Well, according to this teaching, what you're actually perceiving is your own underlying energetic architecture, your own light body.
Now, the text gets really specific here. This isn't just some vague feeling or a nice idea. It's described as a totally perceivable reality. The Sanskrit term for it is pranamaya kosha, which basically means your energy sheath. It's a body made of pure life force, what's called prana, that flows through this incredibly complex network of 72,000 subtle channels called nadis. Think of it like a luminous, energetic circulatory system that underpins your physical one, and you can actually learn to see and feel it.
But that light body, it's really just one piece of a much larger puzzle. This model says we're actually made up of 5 distinct layers, or sheaths, called the koshas. It's like peeling back the layers of your being. You start on the outside with the most obvious one, the annamaya kosha, our physical body. Go one layer deeper and you find the pranamaya kosha, that energy body we were just talking about. Deeper still is the manomaya kosha, your mind, your thoughts and emotions. Then you get to the vijnanamaya kosha, the wisdom or intuitive body. And right at the very core, the anandamaya kosha, pure, blissful awareness itself.
Okay, and this is where we get to the absolute heart of this whole teaching. If this vast, layered inner world actually exists, how in the world do we perceive it? How do we navigate it? Well, the claim is that we are all born with a second, completely separate sensory system, a set of internal senses that are, for most of us, totally asleep, dormant, and they're designed for this exact purpose.
What's so incredible about this framework is how perfectly symmetrical it is. Just think about it. For every single one of our 5 external senses that we use to get around in the physical world, there is a direct internal counterpart for navigating the inner world. So you have sight for the outside world, and you have inner sight for seeing energy and auras. You have hearing for the outside, and inner hearing for picking up on guidance and intuition. It's a complete parallel system, one for each reality.
And we're not just talking theory here. These senses are supposed to have real, practical applications. I mean, can you imagine what that would be like? To actually see the energy field around a person? Or to receive intuitive guidance that feels as clear as a subtle voice? To literally feel someone's presence even when they're far away? Or to walk into a room and sense the fragrance of its emotional atmosphere? This is what the Source calls the practical magic of waking these senses up.
Which, of course, brings us to the big, obvious question, right? If we're all walking around with this incredible inner toolkit, this whole set of superpowers, basically, why have most of us never even heard of it? Why are these senses asleep?
Well, the explanation given in the text is pretty much a direct critique of our modern world. Think about it. Our attention is in a constant state of being pulled outward. Our eyes are glued to screens, our ears are filled with noise pollution, our taste buds are hit with artificial flavors. It's a constant bombardment from the outside. The text uses a great analogy. It's like a muscle. We've spent our whole lives flexing the external attention muscle, so it's incredibly strong. But the opposing muscle, our internal senses, has just been left to weaken, to atrophy from total lack of use.
And here's a really key point. The goal isn't to ditch the outer world and just live in our heads. We're not meant to choose. According to this teaching, our original human design is for something called bifocal consciousness. It's a great term, right? It's like having bifocal glasses for reality. You can be fully present and engaged with what's happening outside you, while at the same time maintaining this constant background awareness of your inner energetic reality. It's about operating in both worlds simultaneously.
All right, so how do we get back to that? How do we actually start waking up these dormant senses? The good news is, the text doesn't just leave us with the problem. It lays out a really clear, really actionable path for anyone who wants to start turning their attention back inward.
Now, the path is described as being very simple, but that doesn't mean it's easy. It all starts with the basics. Just 10 minutes a day of being aware of your breath, finding pockets of genuine silence, away from all the stimulation, getting out into nature, which naturally helps tune our subtle perception, and, yeah, the tough one for a lot of us, consciously cutting back on digital consumption, just turning down the volume on all that external noise. But the biggest step? Patience. This isn't a weekend workshop. It's a journey of rediscovery that takes time.
Now, to bring this all together, the text does something really cool. It connects all of these seemingly mystical ideas directly to our modern scientific understanding. It suggests that what we're really looking at here is a new blueprint for what a human being can be, a bridge between science and spirit.
And this is where it gets absolutely fascinating, because science is starting to catch up. We're actually beginning to measure the very things these ancient texts have talked about for centuries. We have the field of neuroplasticity, which proves that our brains can physically change and rewire themselves to be more aware of our internal states. We can literally measure the powerful electromagnetic field that radiates from the human heart. And you've even got fields like quantum biology looking at theories that consciousness itself might be linked to tiny emissions of light, biophotons, coming from our own cells.
And the ultimate point here, the big why, is honestly pretty inspiring. The idea is that this journey inward isn't just a personal self-help project, it's transpersonal. This teaching suggests that as more and more of us start to awaken these inner senses, we contribute to a kind of morphic awakening, a collective field of consciousness that actually makes it easier for other people to wake up too. So your inner work isn't just for you, it ripples outward.
So, let's just end on the question that this whole teaching really leaves us with. This isn't about what some guru experienced centuries ago. It's about your potential, right now. What hidden reality, what secret senses are just sitting there, waiting inside of you? What could you perceive if you just learned how to look inward?